All right, guys, so there's a lot of information and some disinformation floating around on the internet about Godzilla swapping your Fox body. So what did I do? I found a Ford racing engineer and we're going to talk about it. So let's get it. All right, so we got David here, 88 Thunderbird Turbo Coupe, classic chassis, but you actually work for Ford Performance, which is really cool. So what do you do for Ford Performance?
So my time there, I did a lot of the crate engine side of things. So I owned all the engineering responsibilities on all the crate engines that Ford Performance produces. And of course, we wanted to release something with the Godzilla.
Yes.
So this intake manifold was actually my brainchild.
Wow, okay.
I had a lot to do with it. I shouldn't say I came up with the original idea for the throttle body, but it definitely makes the swap market more attractive for the Godzilla.
Very nice. All right, so as far as physically stuffing it in the car, what's the bullet points on what you're looking at as far as a DIY guy in his own garage?
Yeah, very simple. I mean, it fits better in there than the 4.6. Fits better in there than any Coyote. You look at the cylinder head on a Coyote, it's double the size of a Godzilla. So it actually wasn't too much of a challenge to fit it in. There was a couple tight spots you need to work with all the stock equipment. So stock exhaust manifolds, they don't really play really nicely with the steering shaft. So of course I swapped manifolds left hand to right hand just to gain that extra around the steering shaft.
Nice.
As far as motor mounts, I make my own motor mounts, scrap metal, laying in the garage, pretty easy. I use all the factory oiling system.
Okay.
So it still has the factory pan on it, factory pump on it. I would like to shorten the pan up some, so I have some ideas there.
Yeah.
But for a swap, I would take that engine and verbatim put it in there.
Got it.
Get running, go take your girlfriend or wife or kids or whatever for ice cream. It's all about having fun, right? So
Exactly, yeah.
the quick turnaround, the quick swap, that's what I'm about, as low budget as possible.
Exactly. So as far as power-wise, obviously you don't swap just because you want a different engine. You want the power too. What kind of numbers are you seeing out of these?
So it was dynoed on chassis dyno, 501 to the rear tire. That was at Donnie Walsh Jr.'s place, D&D Motorsports. About 600 to the crank, 501 to the tires through a slush box, Power Glide 5600 stall converter.
Nice.
And a big key input for that was this intake manifold.
Yes.
This intake manifold makes approximately 15 horsepower over a stock application. Of course, it does the throttle blade relocation, throttle body relocation, so it's pointed straight out rather than straight up in the F250. And then we have the beautification cover. So your friends don't mix it up with an LF.
And they
know it's a Ford.
Yeah. So with you being an engineer and being extremely knowledgeable about these, what other stuff would a guy want to know if he was thinking about doing this swap?
I like using all the stock parts. Now I did just complete 6 Michigan miles, 1,200 miles. So the streetability of this thing it's obviously meant for Super Duty applications. So it's meant for the high temp.
Yeah.
It's meant for high oil temp, coolant temp. For those Super Duty applications. So I feel like a lot of the robustness is already baked into the base design.
Yeah.
I'm big on the stock fasteners. There's a handful of guys out there that I know are putting studs in and they're losing head gaskets.
Ah,
So this is a M13 head bolt. It's the largest head bolt in the gasoline market.
wow.
Did that for this engine. It's a unique fastener. Of course, all the critical fasteners, your main bearing cap, it's a 4-bolt main with the cross bolts.
Yeah.
All that stuff I would leave stock.
Yeah.
Don't touch it. In terms of Fiat, I want to talk about the Fiat a little bit. I used the stock water pump. I used the stock alternator, all the full ways. All I did was reroute the valve so I could delete AC and power steering. Obviously, in a drag car, I don't need it. That being said, on the 1,200-mile journey, it would have been nice to have AC and power steering.
Definitely. Okay, so last and final thing, what are you running this thing on, and what kind of, performance are you getting out of the drag strip?
The control pack is a OBR control systems. It comes plug and play with the wiring harness, the calibration, and the ECU hardware. Roughly $3,600 or so USD. And for what you're getting, I mean, there's a lot of guys that spend all day on the dyno. Right. So they're spending $1,000 on the dyno. They're spending $1,000 on the wiring harness. This is the best wiring harness. It's on all the Lamaze cars, all the F1 cars. I'm really, really thrilled with how this ECU is actually performing. And as far as times goes, I've been 992 at 133 miles per hour. I owned the stock Godzilla NA record for the longest time until my buddy took it in Pennsylvania there. But we're all friends, so it's a friendly competition. Today we're here for the Godzilla Invasion, and hopefully I go rounds in Godzilla Invasion.
Hell yeah. All right, guys, so there you go. Straight from a Ford engineer that helped design, build, and bring new products, performance products to the market for the 7.3 Godzilla. So that information is firsthand. It's great. If you're wanting to do a Godzilla swap, this is the video that should help you get it done. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, big thumbs up. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one.